I am delighted that the elders have taken upon itself as one project to celebrate April the 4th, 1967, breaking the silence moment was one of the most significant moments in U.S. history, though probably most historians will disagree with me, because most historians and other social scientists did not expect black people to create the movement that Dr. King, for which Dr. King became the symbol. It was a complete surprise to the whole nation. They never predicted it. Because the 1967 speech, you see, came 11 years after the Montgomery bus boycott. So there was 11 years of activity. And through all of that activity, my government, the United States government, was the number one enemy of peace and justice in the world, which is the way I put it in the 60s. The number one enemy of peace and justice in the world. I've reread the speech now again. The speech is as relevant today as it was April 4th, 1967. The United States remains the number one enemy of peace and justice in the world. It remains, in his words in that speech, the single most purveyor of violence in the world. It remains that the United States can go to the aid of Ukraine and fight Russia, but it cannot make voting rights available in Texas or Florida or Mississippi or Tennessee for black people. The way he put that in the speech is, it can send white boys and black boys to die together in Vietnam, but it cannot sit them in the same classroom in Mobile, Alabama. That's straight out of plantation capitalism. It's straight out of the Chamber of Commerce of the United States. The United States cannot, will not, stop the dying of babies in the first year of life in the United States. I'm not sure how many are now dying every day in the first year of life. The Chamber of Commerce is not interested in stopping that. But they're interested in seeing to it that the oil wells that are yet to be tapped in Angola or Mozambique will be oil wells that will land the oil in the United States. See, we have never tried to break the shackles on USA poverty, or the illiteracy in the white community and the Hispanic community alike, and the Asian community and the black community. We've never worked on eradicating the illiteracy of our country so that our people are ill-equipped to live in a 21st century world and in our kind of universe. We have not yet had in the United States a white political social movement to transform our nation into a living awareness of we hold these truths to be self-evident. Nothing is more challenging to me personally than the fact that in spite of the two wonderful historical documents that we have never had a white movement. The Chamber of Commerce would be opposed to it, absolutely. So no such movement has yet emerged. But a part of the demand of April the 4th is that white liberal voices wake up, that the USA white population wake up, and instead of going the way of January the 6th, 2021, go the way of the preamble of our Constitution, we the people of the USA, in order to perform a more perfect union. April 4th, 1967 ought to be a trumpet explosion across our nation for waking up to the great harm our nation does, and to the possibility that even yet the King called for a revolution of values, moved from the orientation for wealth and greed and power and military force and violence to a society that is committed to one another and to making human life in the United States what it can be and by the grace of God ought to be.